What's up, guys? Proper Truth here. Now I know recently I had put up a Diabolos deck profile for you guys, and I know I'm putting up another one right now, as you guys can see from the title. However, this one is completely different. Like, it's something that I've been thinking about, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's awesome. Like I really want to actually do it on the camera with it, so you guys could just see how it works and how nutty it can get. So I changed literally pretty much everything. Like, it's crazy. Wait until you guys see it. So from the title, you guys already see that it says Lair of Thunder. You already know where I was going with this. There's no need for y'all to be like, what the heck can that be? It's nuts, guys. It is nuts. So let me get straight to this deck profile for you guys. But before we do, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, show some love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification button as well. You guys ready? Let's go. Alright, guys. So let's get to it. This is the deck right here. Let's start off with Diabolos real quick. So I dropped Diabolos down to 1. I was actually going back and forth between 3 and 2, 3 and 2, and then I dropped them down to 1 simply because I literally changed most of the engine in here. Now, if you're playing the pure layer, I highly suggest you bump this up to 2. But in this one, in this build, if you see him, you see him. If you don't, you don't. Remember, you can always search him with a Rima. It's not a big deal. Lilith, I kept at 3. To me, my personal opinion, she's still the heart of the deck. Even the soul a little bit. She is just too god tier. Like, you're searching anything right here, and you can clear off your opponent's monster off your opponent's board by just her effect if you have Lair on board. Arima, as I mentioned, I dropped it down to 2. It's the first time I actually dropped Arima down to 2, because I've always had Arima in a playset. But again, like Diabolos, I dropped them just so I can be able to add these engines into it, and so I can be able to see the cards that I need to see. Off to the Thunder Dragons. I am playing TD OG, the original right here. I call him TD OG. You have to play 3. Just like if you're playing any Thunder build, you gotta play 3. And that goes for the same thing for TD Dark. TD Dark, you have to play 3. It does not matter what build you're really playing. I mean, there are builds that do play 2, but they still keep this at 3. I'm doing it at 3 just because of the quick effect and stuff like that that can trigger for Titan and stuff. So great card. It's also a Rhoda. If it gets banished, you can add a Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand. Thunder Dragon card. Off the Roar. Now Roar, Roar was actually giving me like a headache once at first, because I was going to play 3 and I was testing at 3, but then it was too much. I did it at 2 and I wasn't seeing it, and it was just like, you know what, it's weird because I have a shitload of draw power and I still wasn't seeing it. But I left it at 2 because like I said, I want to be able to see everything. It's still not bad. Once roll goes off, it's over. But 2 should be fine. If it's banished, you get to actually special summon a Thunder Dragon out of your deck, which is, to me, freaking nuts. You're mostly gonna go after one of these 2 guys. Even if you want to go for Hawk, you can go for Hawk. But yeah, like, I think Roar has but the thing that Roar has is just the fact that you get a free summon from a Thunder, which gives you the chance to even go straight into Colossus. So you still haven't even conducted your normal summon. So if you have Lilith in the hand, you can actually normal summon Lilith, and you get what I'm saying. Like, you have the potential here, and he's amazing. But like I said before, I think 2 is it's just perfect. You can also discard him to add one of your Thunder Dragon cards from either the graveyard or the banished and add it to your hand. So he's also returning on live. Hawk is really good. Like, it's your monster reborn. If you discard it, you can special summon a Thunder Dragon from your banish or from your banish zone or from your graveyard. And like I said before, if he leaves the field, if he gets banished from the field or from the grave, you can mulligan your whole hand and draw the same amount. Really good. Same thing as Roar. Keep it at 2. Thunder Dragon Duo. Thunder Dragon Duo is pretty much your BLS. You know, you're gonna banish 1 light, 1 dark from your grave to special summon him, and then like if a monster is activated from your hand, it could be any monster, he gains the 300 attack until the end of the turn. And then if he destroys a monster by battle, you can banish 1 card from your graveyard and add a thunder monster from your deck to your hand. So he's your Rhoda. Also, whatever you banish from a thunder part, you're also getting their effects. So can't go wrong with that. You really can't. He's awesome. He could become a big beat stick and get you a search, and possibly even 2 searches depending what you banish. If you banish dark, you're getting a search as well. So really good card. And playing white and black dragon, like Omega says, diversity. White and black dragons a must in here. It's just like any other thunder dragons, and the cool thing about it is that, you know, the layers are dark, so you can also banish whoever you want to banish from here, special summon white. Really good. They leave the board, they search for each other. I wish they did not get restricted. Now, artifact site. I'll be honest with you, I want to put this at 1, but then if I draw into it, then that means these are dead, and I really don't want to do that. It's just, I'm really trying to fit enough in this deck to make it consistent, and it's so freaking hard. But when you have that hand, it's very hard to get through it, for your opponent to get through it. But Scythe to me should still stay in here because Lilith can get you the artifact Scythes, and you can actually end the board with a Colossus, a Lilith with a Lair, and a Sanctum in the back row. Like, what your opponent can't add when you activate Scythe. If they don't ask you, you're gonna get a you activate Sanctum. If they don't ask you, you're gonna get Scythe out, and then Scythe triggers. Honestly, it's insane. They're not gonna be able to special summon monsters from the extra deck, and they can't add cards to the hand other than drawing. And then even if they summon something, Lilith is gonna tribute them. So that's the real reason why I'm keeping Scythe in there. If I rip one, at least I have 1 more in the deck for Sanctum. So that's the monster lineup, guys. I hope I kind of explained it pretty well for you guys to understand. Off to the spells. Very simple. I kept my 3 layers. You have to. It's a must. No question about it. Everything becomes dark on the board, so you mess up decks like Salamangreats. Anything that revolves around their attribute, you F them up with this. Top of that, tributing, like I say, contribute your opponent's monsters off to trigger your effects. I drop Extravagance down to 2. Don't think you really need 3 in here. It's like I said before, you're trying to fit everything and make the deck consistent. I think 2 is just fine. And the reason why I also say I think 2 is just fine, because you're also playing 3 Lair of Darkness. Lair of Darkness is not not once per turn. Doesn't really have any restrictions other than just banishing a dark. Like that's like everything in this deck almost. So you can activate 2 in the same turn. Amazing, amazing, and amazing. That's why I said you don't necessarily need to play 3 Extravagance, you know, because if you rip into the second one, it's like, oh man, you kind of want to draw into a Lair of Darkness, especially if you got one of these knuckleheads in your hand. So yeah, so definitely 2 Extravagance, 3 Allures. I think that would be just fine, to be honest, as ratio wise. You guys can test 3 if you want, or just test 1 if you want. Entirely up to you, or like 2 and 2. Just to see if you guys want to put anything else in here, like maybe a second Deck Devi or Eradicator. So next up, Thunder Dragon Fusion. This card, I was going back and forth between either Upstart Goblin or this. Now I kept it in here just so I can keep playtesting it, because you can recycle your Thunder Dragons from your Banish Zone, or from your graveyard, or even from the field back into the deck to summon one of your Thunder Dragon Fusions. 99.9% is going to be Titan. And on top of that, it's not the turn that you send to the grave, but you could banish it and add a Thunder monster from your deck to your hand. So you can recycle whatever you're recycling and then search it the next turn. So this card actually helps search pretty much anything that you really need. Like if you really need the Hawk, you're gonna search Hawk. You get what I'm saying? And be able to go off from there. So 1 is fine. Please don't do more than 1. Ghost Arc, obvious reasons. Any of these knuckleheads get banished. Triggers. No questions. Foolish. Foolish for the Diabolos. Foolish to maybe foolish him to hawk him back or hawk him back, and then send him off to summon Colossus, and then he'll trigger, and then, you know, foolish, same thing as Ghost Art. It's a must, no question asked. Off to the traps. The traps was really probably the hardest things to decide what stays and what goes. Lilith, you have to make sure Lilith is what's going to decide your traps, to be honest. You got to make sure that you have the perfect amount of traps, to be honest. I had Epidemic and Deck Devi at 2. I really did, and it was hard for me to take this and drop it down to 1. And even this, because this is a hand trap killer, this is a Sky Striker killer, right? Pretty much any deck killer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Let's test it 1 and 1. You know, can't complain. Lilith is gonna bound to search for anything. If you're going first, you better be searching for that. You better be getting 3 of those bad boys and set them. If you have already 1 in your hand, search 2 and get a back to the front, just in case they rip off Lilith. They get Lilith off the board. You can bring her right back. So these are pretty much your only viruses that you're gonna be playing. You can go back and forth with Deck Devi and play full force virus, or play 1 Deck Devi and 1 full force and side deck the Epidemic. You can also play 1 of each and side deck the other ones, either or. My side deck is pretty okay. You'll see it when right after this. Sanctums, if they clear it in the back while you're popping a card on the board, and you're getting a free stopper right here, Scythe. Scythe can become dark if Lair's on board, which means you can trigger this Deck Devastation virus. Also, you can also tribute it with Lilith or Rima, because it'll be considered dark, or even Diabolos, it'll be considered dark. So awesome. Even any light becomes dark on the board, so that's the beauty about this deck. And then back to the front, because it's your Monster Reborn, you bring back this, you can bring back this, anything, and bring back Scythe, and then Scythe triggers, you know. So that's the reason why I kept it like this. So guys, this is a 40 card deck. You can squeeze it to 41, 42, just because you might want to add some traps into it, or maybe add a third Arima. Entirely up to you. But this deck is really cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me show you guys the extra deck before I go to the side deck. Alright guys, so this is the extra deck. Sorry, my chair is kind of squeaky. So I did minor changes to it, you know. Definitely added the 2 Colossus right here and the Titan. I definitely felt like I was trying it at 1, but then I was like, yo, the way the deck is playing, I think I need to put another one. So I ended up putting a second Thunder Dragon Colossus. Titan, it's pretty much close to a pure build, so it's like you might as well play the Titan. Top of that's a beast stick, it doesn't target, and it's just broken. It's not once per turn. So this is just the Thunder lineup right here that you need. Starving Venom Dragon, because everything Lair makes everything dark, as I mentioned in my previous videos. Lair turns everything to dark. Does not matter what deck it is. You can always super poly to summon Starving Venom. Clears the board, so you can actually, it's crazy because you can actually have the Lilith tribute something on your opponent's board and super poly the rest of it. Nuts, crazy, can't go wrong with it. Violet Chimera playing just in case. I know Salad is dying slowly. I still love my Salad deck. I think it still has so much potential, especially when the next series comes out and the next summoning mechanic. We do not know what that is. The format will slow down, just like how Vrains made everything slow down at first. Decks like this, Salad, you know, little decks that are rogue but that are really broken, it's gonna come up again. So this is just for Salad, to clear their board. Link Spider, because the field spell gives you tokens. Almirage, I'm playing. It's funny. I play Almirage just to play it. To be honest, you can normal summon your Lilith, and bam, boom, you're bringing out Almirage. He's also good for protection, I guess. I'll be honest, he's just there to be there. You can replace him with anybody else. I've had him in there when I was trying out with the original build, and I was like, you know what, let me just keep him, because there will be normal summons that I will be doing, and maybe I can summon him to give me a link arrow. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be Lilith. It can be what's his name, Arima. Arima could be that normal summon, and you're like, okay, I don't need to, I have a Diabolos in my hand, I don't need to draw 1 really. You know, you can link into that. Now you have a marker to activate Thunder Dragon Fusion. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, this could be replaced by anything you guys want. Cherry Beanie is still in here because yes, you do need 2 level 3 tokens to summon him, and you still, I mean, not 3 level tokens. Wow, 2 level 3 monsters to summon him. The tokens are level 3, guys. They are level 3s. You still generate tokens in here. If you get him on board, and you have a Colossus right underneath his arrow along with a Diabolos, very difficult to get through. Very difficult to get through because anything he's pointing to can be destroyed by card effects, and Diabolos can't already be targeted, so he can't. So he becomes a giant Magic Spectre. Colossus is his own protection, but this gives him the extra protection, so you don't have to necessarily banish monsters out your grave from destruction. You know, you can do it for only when he battles. You know, so Cherubini is really cool in here. B-Cop because B-Cop is your protection for your lair. If you get B-Cop on board, make sure you protect that lair. Lair is one of the biggest keys. Even though you threw the Thunder Dragons in here, it's still a key in there. If you have Lilith on board, Colossus on board, you want to be able to get rid of your opponent's field and make sure they can't really do much. You know what I'm saying? Some summoner I'm playing, I rarely go into him. I just have him in there because if I do go into him, it's 2 arrows down. He's an amazing card in a way because you can discard 1 card, then just target 1 Thunder Monster in your graveyard and special summon it. It can be a link though, just FYI, it can be a link. But you can discard a card and just like whatever you're discarding may trigger. Like a Thunder Dragon is gonna trigger, like maybe Dark might trigger. It's gonna trigger. You know, any of them is gonna trigger, and then you're gonna have free special summon, so you can bring back maybe Roar or something or anything. And then you know he's there. You can also tribute him to summon the Colossus if you want. If you have 1 Colossus on board, you want to get another one, you can tribute him and make sure the other one comes on board. Get what I'm saying? So nuts. He's alright. I barely go into him because I'm not playing the battery, but he can pop up once in a while. Nightmare Engine, have to. To me, you have to. Pops back row, pops main monster zone, and shuffles anything, to be honest. So I feel like this is a must. Believe it or not, let me just FYI and just throw this out there. There are gonna be times for you to go into your extra deck. They will be. But you have to be real careful with Pot of Extravagance. I'm just throwing that out there because if you Pot of Extravagance and you get rid of these 2 knuckleheads, you might as well just go straight to the next game. Make sure you establish board first, and then your next turn you activate Pot of Extravagance on your main phase. Remember, Pot of Extravagance must be the first card you pretty much activate. It's just like Cold Wave. If Cold Wave was unbanned and you had Pot of Extravagance and Cold Wave on board, you could only activate one or the other, because once you activate one of them, your main phase is pretty much over. The start of your main phase is over. So be careful how you activate Pot of Extravagance, guys. You do not want to banish any, especially the Colossus. You know, it's not a pure build of Diabolos anymore. Now you gotta rely a little bit on the extra deck. So make sure you establish board, then you go off from there. Or just pray. If you really need the punishment, just pray you don't banish both of them. Next up, Sayuja. Rarely that you will go into the link forging here. Possible, very possible. But you're going for more of the control now. You're going for like, you want to special summon out your hand, you want that draw power, go for Sayuja. If you know you're gonna push for game, you better go for board load. So Boar Sword. So that's the reason why these are my only link fours. I don't think you really need to change anything. If you really want to change anything, Armorage and maybe some summoner if you want. I would say change this before changing some summoner though. So this is it. Don't forget your tokens, guys, because of the layers. You don't want to you do not want to get rule shard because you completely forgot to put a token on either player's board. So this is it, guys. Let me get straight to my side deck. Alright, guys, so this is the side deck. I'm gonna breeze right through it real quick for you guys. I don't want to make this video too long. So Nibiru, your dinosaur killer. For any dinosaur player out there, that is your meteor that wiped down the dinosaurs. So y'all know who y'all are. Meteors, Nimbirus, 2. I feel like you only need to play 2. because again, as you guys saw, the deck has draw power. So if you draw into it, it's just not a problem. And also, it's if it goes through, if your opponent lets it go through, it tributes everything on board. Yeah, if Lair's on board, yeah, it kind of sucks. So your opponent will get tokens, so he'll get a big beater token and other tokens. But that's alright. Like, that's what you got Super Poly for. That's what you got Super Poly for. Dimension Shifter, I put him in here because it doesn't really hurt you. The only thing that will really hurt is the layer part of it, but it won't really hurt you because it will trigger your Thunder Dragons. And if you're not playing a mirror match, this can hurt many decks because this lasts until the end of the next turn. So if you do it on your opponent's turn, by the time it's your turn, watch how you play the layer engine. Just focus, if you can focus more on the Thunder part, focus on the more Thunder part, because that will be very beneficial for them. So hurts every other deck, can hurt you depending on how you play it, but more benefits than it does with hurt. Artifact Lancia. Remember, you play Sanctum, so you can also special summon this from the deck. So if you don't have it in your hand, don't worry about it. It can still come out. You can send it off the field, then your opponent shuts down. So this is more for like a mirror match. Don't side this in mirror match, please. Like, don't put these in. Put these in. I wanted to put 3 because, you know, yeah, you can shut down the mirror match. You can also shut down Orcus, and like I said, you can special summon it through Sanctum. So, but I wanted to see what I can do and maneuver from here. Dark Rule no more. If you're playing combo decks and you're going second and you have not Nimbir with them, but you have this, I would say mess them up with this. Mess them up with this. Shut it down, and they can't respond to it monster effects. But then once you do that, you can start going off with your layer engine along with the Thunder engine. Super Poly again, like I mentioned, it's for like summoning your Venom Dragon because everything is dark. Twin Twister, basic reason, kills back row, you know, and you're clearing whatever is a threat to you. Imperial Order, be careful with Imperial Order. You can shut down Lair, but this is more for like Sky Strikers and Pendulums and stuff. And then the 2 evenly matches just to clear the board, and you can be able to go off from there. It really depends. I still want to work on this. Remember, as I always say, guys, your side deck is your preference based on your logos and based on your deck and how you play. That's the deck, guys. That was the main deck, side deck, extra deck. So if you guys got any suggestions, please let me know in the comment box below. Thank you. So there you guys have it, my Lair Thunder deck profile. Now, or Thunder of Lair, if you want to call it that way, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna keep play testing it, see how it works. If I like it, I'm gonna keep it. If not, I'll go back to my pure version, like to the one I had before this video. I am gonna be doing some duels for the channel with it. Either with somebody in the crew or just somebody random in my locals. When I do, you guys can see how it plays. It has its ups, it has its downs, depending how you play. You gotta learn how to figure out how to play with the layer with the Thunders. It can get kind of tricky sometimes, it's quite confusing, but it does work. It really does work, guys. But other than that, I do hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to show some love by hitting that subscribe button and that notification button as well. Guys, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you at the next video. Later.